Question number 10. The trinomial x squared minus 14x plus 49 can be expressed as x minus 7 squared, or x plus 7 squared, or x minus 7 plus, or times x plus 7, or x minus 7 times x plus 2. Trinomial just means it's a function with three parts, x squared, x, and then a number. And it's just saying, how can I, factor this thing? Can I bring it to this, bring it to that? What am I going to do? You can do the old-fashioned factoring. You can also find its roots and then switch those to factors, or you can do your double distribute. I'm going to show you probably like the two, I won't say quickest, but like the two easiest ways to deal with this, and I'll show you one cheap way to do it in the calculator. One way to do this is just to test out each of your answers for the box method or FOIL and see if they match up with the answer over there. So we can just test that real quick. It's x minus 7 squared. Let's try it. So I'm going to try x minus 7 squared. That is really x minus 7 times x minus 7. And I can do my double distribute. I'll do x to x, x to negative 7, negative 7 and negative 2x, and then finally negative 7 to negative 7. X times x we'll do first, x squared. Next we'll do the red one on top, which is x times negative 7. That's minus 7x. Then we'll do blue on the bottom. Negative 7 times x is another negative 7x. And then finally negative 7 times negative 7 is plus 49. I just have to combine my red and my blue. Those are like terms. I get x squared minus 14x plus 49. We lucked out. The very first answer gave us the same thing as our question. So it looks like it is answer choice 1. A second way you can check this is by doing your quadratic formula, getting your roots, and checking to see what the factors are going to end up as. So for the quadratic formula, what we can do, well, I don't know if I want to do quadratic formula for this. I mean, well, why not? Let's do it, right? So we'll come over here. We add x squared minus 14x plus 49. X squared minus 14x plus 49. So my A is 1, B is negative 14, C is 49. If we plug this into our quadratic formula, you can look it up on your reference table, but I got it memorized. X equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And you just got to plug the different parts in and see what you get as your answer. So I'm going to put double negative 14, right? It's negative b and a negative 14, so it's negative negative 14, plus or minus square root of negative 14 squared minus 4, 149, a c all over 2a. So now that I know what to plug in, I'll actually go ahead and plug it into my calculator just to see. So I'm going to say, okay, we'll do control divide to get a fraction, and I'll just start plugging and playing. Negative 14. I'll just do plus. I can't do plus or minus, so I'll do plus to start. Control x squared. Negative 14 in parentheses. Negative 14 squared minus 4. Whoops. Issue. I came outside of the square root. I don't want to do that. Minus 4 a c all over 2a, and a is just 1. My first answer is 7. Come back over here, switch this positive to a negative. My second answer is also 7. If my roots are positive 7, it means that my factor is going to be x minus 7. Again, I got answer choice 1. I can show you one quick, final, cheap way to get this, though I feel like I'm just kind of beating a dead horse. We have two pretty easy ways to do it, even though the second way I did is kind of crazy. Another way you can go is go to a graph, and I can just try graphing the original function they gave me, x squared minus 14x plus 49. X squared minus 14x plus 49. If I graph this, it shows me this function over here. You'll notice that the root is at positive 7. That's the only one root. That is another way to tell that that's my answer. The root is at 7, so I know that my roots are positive 7. My factors should be negative 7. That's another way to tell the answer. But a final way to check the answer on the calculator, and now you'll have 4 ways that I've shown you in this video to get this answer, is I can hit tab and try graphing each of these until I end up with one that fits perfectly on top of what we had over here. So I can try graphing x minus 7 squared over here. So parentheses, x minus 7 squared. I'm about to hit enter. When I do, you're going to see a new line go right on top of this because we already know that this is the right answer. I graph it. I end up with the exact same line on top of it, which means that they are equivalent. It's the same expression. So that's 4 different ways for us to check and see that the answer to this is answer choice 1. Whichever way you think is the easiest, that's the way you're going to choose to do it by yourself.